What's up, everyone? Chris Record here, and welcome to Affiliate Marketing Academy Day 3. I'm excited because the feedback has been pouring in over day 1 and day 2. People are absolutely loving it. They love the mastermind style. You know, I wanted to create something different than just the regular experience of just going and watching a YouTube tutorial video. I mean, if you just want to go watch a YouTube tutorial video like how to sign up for an affiliate program, you can do that. But what I've always found valuable is like just unloading the brain of somebody who's been there and done that. Somebody who has made 6, 7, even 8 figures in affiliate marketing. I've dominated leaderboards. I've done multi-million-dollar promos. There's been companies that I've done that I've literally received 7-figure commission checks from promoting them. An example of that, I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to share a few example companies today, and I'm going to share with you sort of my thought process around these. Now, before we kind of get started into the details, I do want to say that some of you might be extreme beginners, meaning you've never done affiliate marketing. And I just want to let you know that we also have tutorials inside of Atlas Academy, and we have a Facebook group where we're going to help fill in any of the blanks. So if you feel like sometimes maybe I'm jumping to some more advanced or intermediate stuff a little bit early, just know that if I put a filter on, the problem with putting a filter on is that I'm not going to be my true, genuine self. But if I take the filter off, then I'll just share openly. I mean, I'll share stuff you're not supposed to share. I'll share some of the bad stuff. I'll share the good stuff. I'll share some strategies that people would be like, why are you giving these away? So it's kind of like if you had the ability to have Chris with the filter or Chris without the filter, trust me, you want Chris without the filter. You just want the Chris that will just unload stuff because there will be gems of knowledge. And you can always go back and watch these replays. So maybe you're like, wow, that sounds like something powerful, but I'm not to that level yet. I'm not at that place in my business yet. So then maybe you learn a little bit more through some of our other teachings. You learn a little bit more through our community, and then you come back. You come back and you watch it, and you're like, now that makes sense. It makes sense to me. So just keep in mind, that was some of the feedback was that, you know, it feels like a mastermind. Instead of calling these academies, I should have called them masterminds, because people have spent thousands of dollars and gone to masterminds and that's the kind of training that they get there. But we just charge $5 a week. We just charge $1 a day, $1 a session for mastermind sessions, completely unheard of. Now, the other thing I want to do is I want to recap. So we're going to go ahead and go back to, we're going to do a quick little, I'm going to flip through these pages pretty quick, just kind of recap from where we were yesterday. Look at all this training here. This is pretty cool, right? So yesterday we talked about choosing a niche. We talked about how to find passionate audiences and how to match up offers to those audiences. We talked about how there's a window of opportunity where people are the most passionate, the most engaged in a specific niche. And if you can get good at timing, at trends and timing, and provide an offer to them while they are in the looking zone, then you are going to have massive success. An example might be, you know, somebody just got laid off from their job and they're in between and not sure what they want to do with their career. Boom, they're in the looking zone. Someone may have just retired from their job, but they don't have enough money in retirement to be able to last them. Boom, they're in the looking zone. Then what happens is there's always a window of opportunity where people are going to be much more open to things, and then a window of opportunity where they're going to be much more closed. For example, just got a new job, just started a new job. At this point, now I'm laser focused. Or for example, some of you are like, we just started Atlas Academy. We want to go all in here. So now those little shiny objects aren't really getting your attention, right? You're not in the looking zone for those. But if this wasn't here right now, maybe you would be wide open in the looking zone to go buy a shiny object somewhere. So the window of opportunity, the looking zone, is very, very critical. We talked about the offer should either solve a problem or should be hyper-focused on a niche. And then we talked about you want to tailor it. So if you have an offer that's not an exact fit, tailor it. You do that using bridge marketing. You could take any niche and match it with any offer if you can get good at building a bridge. We're not going to recap that because we talked about that for a long time yesterday. But that was just one of the things we talked about. Kind of more of the recap here. I think recaps are helpful too, even though, you know, maybe you just got done watching that video. Nice little summarized recaps are a good way to start anything, because retention is an important part of the learning process. And sometimes it's difficult to retain when there's 2 hours of information, right? So there's a few ways we can retain. One is to repeat things often. 2 is to summarize things often, right? I like the old analogy, the old metaphor of public speaking, which is tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them what you told them. right? Tell them what you're going to, you should write that down, by the way. Tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them what you told them. So an example would be, here's what I'm going to discuss today. Boom, 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 boom. So I kind of prepare a level of expectation. Then we dive into it. Then tell them, here's all that content. Then at the end, recap. Here's what we covered, right? That's kind of the basic framework, the 3-part framework to being able to convey any message to any people, whether it's training, whether it's scripting, whether you have an AI video doing it, it works really well. We talked about, and by the way, the last thing of retention is taking notes. If you're able to take notes, there's a weird thing, whether it's pen to paper, whether it's phone to paper, or whether, if you're like me, I just take notes in a notepad on my computer. I like typing. It's a weird thing because here's what works really well for me for retention. I know it's a tangent, but it's very, very helpful. I promise you. So when I do what's called rapid learning, I take a technique that should take a week to learn and I learn it in a day. And we should teach that at some point. We should have an academy dedicated, a whole week dedicated just to learning quickly, because I can collapse the learning curve of almost anything. For example, for a while, I was like the #1 affiliate for Shopify. At least all the months I was promoting, I was the #1 affiliate for that company. And I knew nothing about Shopify, right? So I gave myself a rapid learning curve where inside of a week, I became an expert in Shopify. Same with High Level. I really wasn't using High Level. I was doing a bunch of other stuff. Inside of just a few days, I think 3 days, I became, sort of like expert status about High Level, enough to be able to teach it, enough to be able to train it, enough to be able to understand it. And then I did a promotion, and I think for the month, I was the #4 affiliate in the whole entire company. So you don't need to spend months learning. You can learn things quickly and rapidly. Now, one of my techniques to learning things rapidly is when I consume information, I write down the key points. Then when it's done, I organize my notepad. It's just jumbled notes. I organize that to make sense to me. So I'll kind of be like, I'll just kind of like shift things around, reorganize a little bit. This belongs over here. Because sometimes the speaker doesn't do the perfect job in explaining. They just give the information off the cuff, right? So then you kind of reorganize and you kind of get it all together nice and neat. For example, if you were just taking notes right now, I just gave you either 3 or 4 techniques to be able to retain information and learn faster. In your notes, if you were kind of jotting down some notes at the end of today's session, you could actually take that and you could basically organize those nice and then put like a little description under each one of these key points. And you can very quickly have, here are 4 key tips to be able to help you retain information faster. #1, #2, #3, #4. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break each one down in detail. Okay, next, let's talk about #1, this tip. Okay, so here's what you wanna do for this, blah, 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 blah. Let's talk about #2, boom, boom, boom. #3, boom, boom, boom. #4. Okay, in summary, we just covered the 4 strategies to be able to help you retain faster. Boom, 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 and boom. I really believe that this is gonna help you out significantly, and hopefully you really enjoyed this training. That is my free value to you. If you like more training like this, I'd love to be able to give you a link to the full video. Now, what I just did was I just taught you how to make money without you even knowing it. I just went on a tangent and told you about how I learned fast by retaining information. I shared with you the tips I used to retain information. And then at the end, I used tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them what you told them. I repeated that back to you right now. If you watch the replay, you'll catch that. And then I even told you to organize that and put that into its own little free value training and give that to the public as a free offer. And they can click to watch the full video. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this stuff can become second nature to you. It's like learning a language. At first, feels a little bit overwhelming, but once you learn it, you become fluent. So anyways, that was a whole tangent that actually was a priceless, like, 6-figure lesson embedded in it. If you didn't get it, watch the replay and you'll start to realize, oh my God, that's exactly what I could do. I could literally just take notes, organize my notes, share them for free, and get paid. Pretty simple. We talked about faceless versus personal branding. We talked about how both are good. Personal branding is going to make you money faster, but it's going to be harder to sustain long-term because it's a slave to you. If something happens to you, it hurts the business. Faceless takes you out of the equation completely, but it's a lot harder to build a faceless brand in the beginning because building the KLT factor, the know you, like you, trust you factor, with a faceless brand, with an anonymous, Entrepreneurs United might be the name of my brand. Nobody knows it, nobody likes it, nobody trusts it. So it takes a little bit longer. And especially if you're using like AI and stuff like that, it's harder for people to be able to really get comfortable with it. But then once they get comfortable with it, boom, the sky is the limit because it's infinitely more scalable. Short-term, long-term, we talked about the long game versus the short game. The long game is where the real money's at. And we talked about the biggest problem that we all have with the long game is that we all have been trained for short-term thinking. We all are trying to get rich quick. We're all trying to make money fast. We're all trying to solve immediate problems in our life like today. And we're constantly in that rat race. We're constantly the hamster on the wheel. And we can never get out because all we can see is the problems in front of us. We spend all of our time solving them and finally they're gone. And then there's just another problem in front of us. I got to do it again. Then it's gone. And then another problem. Sometimes we take a step back and say, if I keep going this route, I'll never actually level up. I'll just get stuck on that hamster wheel. But if you step back and say, okay, here's a long game approach that involves a little bit of short game, a little bit of solving the problems, and a little bit of long game, a little bit of building a foundation for something later that's going to take care of all those problems. So one example I'll give of this is the idea of create content once, get paid for months. Okay, if you want to write that one down. Create content once, get paid for months. That is an example of a good long game strategy. If I post a video on my Facebook right now, it's going to get a little bit of traction, meaning that the algorithm is going to show it to a few people, and then it's going to die. It's going to die. It's going to go away, meaning Facebook will stop showing that post. You guys all know what I'm talking about. You make a post on Facebook, the likes start coming in, maybe some comments, and then it just goes off to die. No one ever sees it anymore. It's just done. It's gone. Facebook's not a good platform for that. Facebook's a platform for short game. Facebook is a short game platform. Facebook is where friends and family are. It's where you can get immediate attention, more immediate results. You can immediately reach people that know you, like you, and trust you. It's a short game platform. Okay, that's how it's built. And I'm telling you right now, Facebook is pretty much all completely built that way, right? Virality can happen, but it doesn't happen on personal profiles. It happens on fan pages. And to keep something going viral for a long time, I really haven't seen it. I have seen virality spike, but not for a long time. And then another example of short-term virality would be like TikTok. TikTok, something can go immensely viral very, very quickly, and you can reach a lot of strangers. So it's different than Facebook. It's strangers, not friends, but it can go immensely viral, and you actually can play the short game on TikTok. Now, long game would be things like YouTube. If you post a video on YouTube, it's probably not going to get many views at all. You probably don't have many subscribers, not going to get many views. But now that video is more likely to get views months from now. An example is I made a music video called Life of an Entrepreneur. And when I released that music video, it had something along the lines of it got up to like 10,000 views, maybe like 20,000 views in a month or something like that, right? Or in a couple months. I don't know, 2-3 months. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it got like thousands of views and then tens of thousands of views. Well, fast forward now, this was back in 2017. So fast forward like at least 5 years later, and it has 4 million views. So in the short game, it didn't work that well. It got thousands of views, but nothing really happened of it. It just kind of went around to die, right? But instead, since it's on YouTube, it just kind of kept getting views over time. Just kind of kept picking up momentum, and then it just kind of never stopped. And it just now crossed over 4 million. At this rate, 5 years later, I'm probably still going to be doing like 1 million views a year on that video. Years later. So YouTube would be an example of a long game, whereas Facebook would be an example of a short game. I just wanted to give some more examples, but we teach that here we're going to teach all these strategies in these academies. We talked about creating value using attraction marketing. So you push information out that's free and you draw people in. Example, push out notes, take notes from a session, take like a nice little part, push it out. You can push it out using an AI video. We're going to be teaching that in 2 weeks. We're going to be teaching you how to be able to create faceless content in just a couple weeks. So we'll teach you how to be able to take like notes, put them into a little script and have an AI avatar read them, put it into a video funnel and push that content out. So we'll be teaching you how to push out value that attracts people. Put the value out there, attract people in that want more information. That's called attraction marketing. And you're going to put them into a pipeline. This pipeline is going to be value, 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 pitch, value, 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 pitch, value, 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 pitch. We're going to provide that pipeline for you in the beginning, but we're also going to teach you List Building Academy, which I think is coming like week 6 or so. I got to look at the exact schedule, but I think somewhere around week 6 or week 7 is List Building Academy. And that's where we actually show you how to do all of this yourself, how to be able to build a massive list, how to be able to set up email autoresponders, how to be able to even use AI to write your emails, all that stuff. So we talked about that. We talked about building lifetime value out of customers. And we talked about the 80-20 rule. Spend 80, like in the beginning, we talked about the 50-50 rule. Spend half your time learning and half your time doing. So I think we all start with like 100% learning, right? We're all a student. Like we all start as children, right? We're students. We spend all of our time in school learning. We're learning science, we're learning math, we're learning English, we're learning writing, we're learning history, but we're not doing any of that, right? Barely, like our parents are doing all the math still. But then once we become like somewhat teenagers, we start having to learn how math works a little bit and start tipping at restaurants and start maybe getting our first credit card. And then you start to realize, wow, math is going to be helpful in life. Then you get a job and you realize, okay, some of these skills are helpful. Then eventually you realize, okay, I need to learn new skills. And so then you start learning again. We all start off as students, and that's okay. Everybody jumps on the Zooms, they're valuable. But the idea is, I'm going to put 100% because we do all start here. Okay, I'm just going to put it up here in the way corner so I can reference it. We all start at 100% learning, but we want to get to a point where we spend 50% of our time learning and 50% of our time doing. I use the analogy of 50% of your time sharpening your axe and 50% of your time cutting down the tree. Then the pro level is right here. The pro level is when you get to 80% of your time doing and 20% of your time learning. So the only way to get here is to become an expert at rapid learning. And you have to also become very disciplined with your time to actually do what you're learning. And this also requires a significant change in mindset. To becoming a doer it's harder than it sounds, because some people are naturally doers. So maybe you're like, what? No, it's easy. But most people deal with past trauma. They deal with past failure. They deal with, they create obstacles and barriers. They deal with negative self-talk. They deal with all these mindset issues. A big one would be fear. They deal with fear. So fear essentially says, I want to do it, but if I could just learn a little bit more, I'll be more confident. And if I'm more confident, then I'll do it. So I'm just going to wait a little bit longer while I learn more. That's okay. But if that is a cycle, then that actually becomes toxic, because what happens is you get in this toxic habit of just buying courses, buying masterminds, attending Zooms. You become a junkie. You become addicted to learning. But the problem is that learning, it comes with an expense of time and money. So if all you're doing is you're putting out time and money, you're just digging kind of a deeper hole. And some of you are getting great satisfaction out of learning, and it's worth it. Some of you maybe have some expendable income, you're in retirement, whatever. I mean, it's better than some of the other clubs that are out there, right? There's other things you could be doing. Maybe this gives you passion. But I'm speaking clearly, directly to the people that are trying to make money here, that can't just afford to keep buying things, that can't just afford to keep sinking time into stuff. You're going to have to make this transition, or you will not be successful. So I'm going to be upfront with everybody here. You will not be successful if you cannot figure out how to go from 100% student to, 90% student, 10% doing, 80% student, 20% doing, all the way to 50-50. Once you get to 50-50, actually, most of you will actually start making money. Like 80-20 is a little bit more of, I want to say beginner, intermediate, advanced. I'd say 100% student, 0% doer. That's beginner. 50-50 is intermediate, because you're going to make money here. Once you start spending this much time actually doing the income producing activities, you'll make money. And you'll be like, oh my God, all I got to do is the activities that produce income, and then it produces income. And it's like, wow, what a novel concept, right? And then eventually you become an expert. Now, the experts never get past this. This is like the peak. You could be an expert in between this. You could be an expert at like 70% learning. Experts are always still learning. Never stop learning. You never stop learning. But the idea is that you just learn, you learn faster. You become a rapid learner. You take on a new topic and you learn it much faster. Okay? Also, another good analogy that I'll give you on this that I think I wanted to leave out yesterday, because I've rushed through this, so I'm kind of picking up on it today since I did just kind of burn through that in 5 minutes. Another example is, I always heard this analogy of work your, I don't know how to say it, but I'm just going to say it like this. You want to work your way to the front, okay? So I don't care what analogy you want to use. It's a line of people, whatever. You got to work your way to the front, or a classroom. So you start off at first with your arms folded like this, and you're sitting in the back of the class. We're skeptical. We don't know, like, or trust the teacher or the class or the topic. We kind of sit here with like our arms closed like this, metaphorically. And we just kind of like, we kind of like are guarded. We're guarded to the information because we've been hurt, because there's scammers out there, because there's fraudsters out there, there's pyramids out there, there's all these things out there. There is all this, there's people that have lost money before. Maybe I've lost money in something before. There's all these personal experience, and we've heard and we've seen things. So we have to be a little bit more cautious. So we start off cautious. And then what happens is, after we kind of have a moment where we start to realize, okay, hold on, this is different. There's something different here. And so we're still guarded, but maybe like this, like, okay. And then we go from this to like, like that. And then we're like, okay, hold on, that was good. Hold on, that was good. Now, okay, hold on, this is valuable. I could use this. This is good. Okay, I love this. Taking notes. I'm taking notes. What happens? We go through that transition, right? So think of a spectrum of people that are on this transition. They have to go from skeptical to like open-minded, to receiving, to believing, to having confidence, to enough belief and confidence that they actually go out there and they actually do. So it's a journey, and the journey is going to be different for a lot of us, because some of us carry a lot of trauma with us. Some of us have a lot of baggage and a lot of bad experiences, or maybe some bad investments, or sometimes we really worked hard and maybe lost something. I have. In fact, throw a 1 in the chat if you've ever had an experience where you've worked really hard at something and it didn't work out, or where you've invested in something and it didn't work out. Look at everybody's live. Look at all the ones in chats, right? Look at how many people can relate to that experience. I know I have. I could sit here right now. I don't think it's the right time, but I could say I'll rapid fire a couple experiences. There's a time recently I invested $1 million into a company. You know how hard it was for me to save up $1 million, being that I grew up on welfare and Section 8 and food stamps? For me to get to a point where I actually was able to save up $1 million, put it into a company, and I lost it all. And when I lost it all, I ended up going to my friend Peter and sleeping on his couch. Homeless and broke. From going from a millionaire to homeless and broke. You don't think that traumatizes somebody? How about this? There was a company that I was in, and I was like one of the top salesmen. I was earning a lot of commissions. It was a commission-based opportunity. I was earning a lot of commissions. And they had the opportunity where I could buy a territory, and I could get all the overrides in that territory of the whole East Coast, basically. And the purchase was $250,000. So I had to spend $250,000 in order to buy it. So I spent $250,000, which meant I had to take debt at the time. I didn't have $250,000 handy. I had to take debt. And then as soon as I bought the position, a couple months later, the company went out of business. And I lost it. Do you know how many times I pushed forward, and then finally when I got to something, didn't work out? There's been experiences like that can hurt us. And all I'm saying is, some people you're going to watch some people just run right out the gates. And then there's going to be some people that are a little bit more cautious, a little bit more skeptical. But the idea here is that you want to move to this point. And the reason it's hard to take action is because we have this trauma. But even when you get to the point of taking 80% action because you overcome the fear and you get the belief, you still want to at least reserve 20% of your time learning. I'm constantly learning new skills. Right now, I just learned about importing. I learned about how to use an API, how to build an app inside of Kartra, a membership site, how to be able to import lists, how to be able to segment the lists, and all this stuff I'm learning to be able to help you guys with the members areas. This is not skills that I've had. Last week, I did not have any of these skills. Last week, I had never done any of this. So I can sit down and I can go, wow, this is overwhelming. This is hard. Or I can sit there and go, this is just something I got to do. I'm just going to be a man. No offense to a woman. I'm just saying a woman, say whatever you want. For me, I am a man. I'm just going to be a man. I'm going to proceed with confidence, and I'm going to trust that God's got my back, and I'm going to figure out what needs to be figured out to do what needs to be done so I can carry out my purpose of what needs to be carried out. I just approach it very disciplined. I try to remove the emotion of the moment, and I try to say, everything is learnable. I've learned things in the past. Here's some examples that can anchor me. These are hard things I learned. I acquired the information quickly, and it's not going to be perfect. I don't have to hold that level of expectation, but I need to get it done because I have a community to serve. So I take on this responsibility, this weight on my shoulders, and I'm able to push forward and do the hard work when it needs to be done, right? That's the kind of attitude that it takes to be able to rapidly learn something and then be able to do something. Now I'm going to have to save the rest of that kind of conversation for a further training, because otherwise we're going to get too deep into mindset. But I just wanted to recap on this. The big thing is you're a 100% learner. At some point you have to start doing. Work your way up to getting to 50-50. 50% of your time learning, 50% of your time doing, and then 80% of your time ultimately is what you want to be doing. 80% of your time doing is what you want. The income producing activities is the main focus. Let me give you a quick little analogy to take some notes. I'll just write it on the board really quick. Take these notes. And this is going to be the focus, right? So I call this for income producing activities equal the 3 C's. Okay? Here are the 3 C's. Some of you have heard me teach this before, but if you're watching replays, a lot of you have probably never even heard me teach before. Here are the 3 C's, and you should write these down, right? We'll put 1, 2, 3. The first C, these are the income producing activities. This is how I think about it when it comes to making money online. The first C stands for create. The second C stands for capture. And the third C stands for convert. Create, capture, convert. Now, this acronym I've been using for over a decade, well over a decade. I think 2012-ish, so maybe about a decade. Create, capture, convert. I'm going to use another pen over here to kind of make this even easier, right? Create traffic, capture leads, convert sales. Create traffic, capture leads, convert sales, right? So if you think about how I named Atlas, right? Affiliate, traffic, leads, and sales, right? Affiliate, traffic, leads, and sales. It's the same thing. I mean, look at this. Affiliate, traffic, leads, and sales. Atlas. Do you get it? It comes from a model that I've used for years. Create, capture, convert for a decade. Whenever I need to think about what can I be doing that will make money, it is a hard process to get your mind to think this way, because there is a passive side of us and there's an active side. The passive side is, I just want to sit down on the couch. I've had a long day of work and I just want to throw on a good movie. Or I just want to catch up on this Netflix series. Or I just want to finish reading this book I'm in the middle of. Right? That's the passive side of us. It just wants to relax. Life is to be enjoyed. So we see it as, let's just relax. Then there's the active side of us where we say, all right, I'm up in the morning. I want to clean the house, right? So then you just like, you see one little thing and you're like, okay, I'm just going to clean the whole house. And you're wiping down all the counters, washing all the dishes, and the sense of fulfillment, it feels so good, right? And then what do we do after that task? It's like our body just wants to sit down for a minute and just relax again, right? Then we want to go into passive mode. So what happens is our life is based on this series of going in between these active and passive modes, right? Active, we go to work and we grind away at whatever our job is, and then we come back home and we got to do our household responsibilities, and it's like we feel like we never really get a proper break and never really get a proper rest. So we're always in passive mode. We always want to be in passive mode. It is our natural desired state for a lot of people, for most of us. Some of us can't sit still. There's other parts of us, some personality types cannot sit still, and you absolutely have to be constantly moving. Okay? I tend to be a little bit more on the active side, which is why I'm more or less the trainer. I'm more or less the teacher, because I tend to gravitate towards, I don't really like to go on vacation. When I'm on vacation, my mind is racing, and I would rather be like, I could shoot a music video out here. I could shoot a sales video out here. I could shoot some content out of here. Let me bring my laptop with me. This would be a great place to be able to just kick back and work. Like my mind, I don't, when I free myself too much, I become super lazy. So I operate in the extremes. I'm very, very extreme. Like right now, I haven't had alcohol for 7 years. I would not even consider having a glass of wine with dinner. To me, that's not extreme enough to fit my behavior. I would rather have 0 even sips. You wouldn't even be able to convince me to take a sip of alcohol. Not even a sip. Not even just to taste it. Not even to swish it and spit it out. I wouldn't even go wine tasting. Because I have to be extreme, all or nothing. But there is no room for the casual glass of wine for me. So if you guys are, if for anybody that's that personality type, then you really just need to live in these 3 C's and just get addicted, be obsessed, and be extreme about it. But most of you are able to do things in moderation. Most of you are not going to be, by nature of statistics, you're not going to be extremists, most of you. So it's going to be a little bit harder for you to stay in active mode because you're going to constantly feel like, I'm overwhelmed, or man, I'm just stressed. I got a lot going on in my life right now. This is just so much to bite off. This is so much to chew. There's so much to learn. I feel like this infinite. So the majority of you are going to feel a little bit more like you need passive mode to escape. And so Zooms are going to be very easy for you. It allows you to be passive and just learn. So naturally, that's what most of you are going to be very good at. Most of you are going to be very good at being attentive and being on Zooms and being part of a community and being part of a family. Most you're going to be very good at homework assignments because those are where you're being told to do something. And so that goes along with the employee mindset, right? The employee mindset is somebody else tell me what to do and I'll do it. The problem, and it works to a certain extent, but the problem is that a real mentor tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. What you need to hear, not what you want to hear. What you want to hear is just give me the step-by-step checklist and I'll go through the steps. Give me the homework assignment and I'll just do the homework assignment. The problem is that that's employee thinking. And not that being employees bad, by the way. I have 0 disrespect for any employees. It's just that my job is to teach you how to be successful as an entrepreneur, right? You rose your hand and said, I want to make money with Atlas. I want to make money with the internet income system. So my job is to teach you how to make money as an entrepreneur. In order to do that, you're going to have to start to think like an entrepreneur. And an entrepreneur is not the type of person that says, give me the rules, give me the steps, give me the checklist. The entrepreneur is a little bit more like, I'm going to break the rules. I'm going to do it my way. And I'm going to do something completely different than what everybody else is doing. Entrepreneurs just think different. They're built different, right? So you're either a natural entrepreneur or you need to become an entrepreneur. So you're going to have to break some of your mindset. Some of you are thinking, if I just got the step-by-step checklist, then I could get everything done perfectly. But an entrepreneur would say, if that checklist doesn't exist, then there's an opportunity here. That means not many people are able to do this. So if I'm able to figure this out, then I'll have a bigger piece of that cake. I'll have a bigger piece. I'll have the lion's share of this meal. So an entrepreneur recognizes that if a tutorial doesn't exist in the back office, that looks like an opportunity. So for example, when I saw Internet Income System, I saw there was a lot missing. I saw there was a lot that wasn't there. If I were an employee minded, I would have said, well, I want to wait until everything's working perfectly. I want to wait until I see everything is methodical. I want to get all my ducks in order. I want to make sure everything's running perfectly smooth. As an entrepreneur, I go, now there's an opportunity. Now that is what I call an opportunity. And then that's really where wealth is made. That's where you're going to make 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, is in recognizing where there's holes and it needs somebody to step in and be able to. The type of person that's going to make money there is the type of person that can overcome those obstacles without somebody giving them homework, or without somebody giving them the assignment. Now, I know this is tough love on some of you. Some of you love my assignments. Some of you love that. And I do still give them because it's helpful. But what I'm saying is if you want to be successful, you have to break out of it. You got to break out of it. You're going to, at some point, you're going to have to break out of focusing on what's not there. For example, right now, when I was launching Atlas, I did a promotion before Atlas existed. I did a promotion before there was a members area, before there was a Facebook group, before there were any funnels, before there was anything. when I did the promotion while Jeff was working on bugs with IIS. I did my promotion still. And it made 6 figures in a week. So the point is, once you actually embrace being an entrepreneur, you won't see these as problems or hurdles or setbacks. You will see them as opportunities, and you'll feel confident to be able to move forward despite having everything lined up. And some of you need to hear that, okay? I don't want to preach too much, but what's the point of learning anything if all you're going to do is just, continue waiting? Now, there are some things I'm waiting for. For example, I have a second promotion planned. I only did a promotion to a list of around 800 people. I have a second promotion plan to another list of 30,000 people. And then I have a promotion plan for YouTube where I have 100,000 followers, and a promotion planned on Facebook where I have another 60,000 followers. So I have not even hit my friends. My friends and my family don't even know that I'm doing this. My friends don't even know that I go live every day. I just had a friend reach out to me today and said, hey man, I'd love to be able to catch up. What have you been up to? I haven't seen you in years. I just imagine you took a couple of years off. And it's like the opposite is true. I'm training, I'm going harder. Every single day I train, right? But I haven't even shared this yet with my friends. So my point is that some things are worth waiting. For me to share it with my friends, I do want to wait to use the new Atlas funnel. I want to wait to use the new Jeff Internet Income Systems Programming. Some things are worth waiting, but I'm always going to be in motion. I'm always going to be doing. So even while some things aren't perfect, I'm always creating traffic, capturing leads, and converting sales. While things weren't perfect, you know what I did? I said, you know what? I'm going to go live every single day, 5 days a week leading up to this, right? Leading up to it. And that's what I did. For those of you that were with me during that first journey, I went live 2 to 4 hours, actually never 2 hours. It was like 3 to 4 hours a day. I went live 3 to 4 hours a day for 2 weeks in advance prior to any of this, because I knew that would be an income producing activity, because I knew at the end of the day, the more that I could get everybody on board and feeling comfortable while things weren't perfect, and be able to make sure I can help answer any questions that people had, and make sure I could figure out what the community needed and do all this, I knew that would be an activity that would relate to not only myself making money, but helping you make money. So I identify what activities there are, what I could do, how I can make that happen. Last thing I want to say about this is, because the whole entire Atlas is about this, creating traffic, capturing leads, converting sales. I do want to spend a couple minutes right now and go through each one. By the way, I know it's a little bit of Preacher Chris today, but I got some interesting news right before the session. Life, you can't change life, and I'm way too authentic. I wear it all over. You guys probably noticed something. You probably caught a little something Preacher Chris going on here, but I'm not going to share it right now. Mike looked over at me. Oh, he thought I was going to share it. No, I'm not going to share it right now, but I will share it. I'm going to actually, there's something that I haven't been able to share for years that I'm going to be able to share, and it's going to be like, I can finally share something. It's been years. That's just such an open loop. You guys have no idea what it is, but I'll just tell you, like, it's something massive. Like, just one of the biggest pieces of information I could ever imagine happened 30 minutes before this. It's just crazy. Open loop. I'll close it some point in the coming weeks. Okay, you guys, throw a heart or a fire, throw some emoji in the chat right now if you guys are getting value. If you're not getting value so far out of this live, go ahead and don't throw anything. Don't let me know. All right. Create, capture, convert. So let me give some examples of each one of these. Hopefully you guys write these down, or hopefully you make this your mantra. Your goal is to spend right now about 50% of your time doing these 3 things, but it should be 80% of your time. In fact, the whole next 12 weeks could just be on this and we'd be good. So let me spend some time on this. Affiliate, traffic, leads, and sales. So let's start with traffic. So traffic it can be considered 2 different ways. One way is it's traffic to your link, to your affiliate link. Traffic to your link. So if I have a link, whether I'm using my Atlas Academy, but ultimately the product that most of us here are selling is Internet Income System. So if you have a link, your join link, right? You essentially have a goal. Your outcome is, I want people to join. I want people to buy the products that I earn commissions off, right? I want people to buy something, right? Which is sales. In order for people to buy something, they first need to become leads, right? They need to join, or they need to join your email list, or they need to join Internet Income System. And in order to get people to join, you're going to need to get traffic to your link. So think about this traffic lead sales like this. Sales would be like, let's say all the way to like somebody going mentor in internet income system. Sales would be like the $20 a month, the $250 and the $1,000 product in internet income system. Let's say $1,250 for that. So that's your goal. Your goal is to be able to convert sales. But in order to have somebody to sell, you need some pre-qualified people that have joined either for free or $20 a month. I would rather go through an incremental process where somebody joins for $20 a month, and then those are basically the people that I focus on helping to upgrade to the next products, rather than going into a stranger and saying, hey, it's $1,250 to buy this product. Do you want it? I'm just going to get rejected all day long. But instead, if I say, here's something for free, do you want this thing for free? And they say, sure. I say, okay, just what's your email? And then boom. What I've done is traffic, I could be talking to somebody, I could be having a conversation in DMs, or I could be attracting people to want to contact me. So I can make a YouTube video and say, hey, there's a link in the description for more info. I could do a Facebook short or a Facebook reel or an Instagram reel or a TikTok video. And I could say, hey, I've got a link in the bio. So if you're creating content would be considered an income producing activity. But even there, you got to get a little bit more specific. If you post a picture, in fact, live chat right now, right? Live chat. If you post a picture of your food as your daily story, if you post a picture that you're eating spaghetti, is that an income producing activity? If I post a picture I'm eating spaghetti, is it an income producing activity? No. I would consider that just social media consumption. If you're scrolling the news feed, is it an income producing activity? No. But what if you come across a jackpot? What if you come across somebody who's sharing a free Zoom call tonight? No. If anything, it's probably shiny object syndrome. And if anything, it's probably unhealthy. Scrolling the newsfeed is probably going to do more harm than it will do good. Posting pictures of your food is probably going to do more harm than it is going to do good. The only exception is if you're already popular. If you're already popular, you can get away with a lot. If you're already super influencer, you can kind of do whatever you want and it's fine because you have a raving fan base. That's not. Posting to social media in itself is not the income producing activity. So let's define this. If you create content, it has to be content that is intentional to drive traffic. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to have a call to action to say, click the link or DM me, but it at least has to be part of a sequence. There has to be, I like to think of it as intentional content, which means I go, okay, here's my content for the week. Every day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm going to create value with no pitch. Value, 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 value. And then on Friday, I'm going to come out with the big video that's going to actually have asking everybody to DM me, right? I'm going to make that my best one. I might do something like that. Because there's intention, each one of those videos is essentially pre-qualifying people and building up interest in what I do and the value that I offer and stuff like that. I would consider all of that an income producing activity. But if there's never a call to action, then none of it's ever an income producing activity. A call to action, and the call to action can't be like my post or comment on my post or subscribe to my channel. That really can't be a call to action. The call to action that I'm talking about is very specifically either to DM you, private message you for more information so you can have a conversation, to give you their email address, so you can actually mail them some info, or to click a link in the description of the content, or point them in the direction where they can find the link, or point them to another video where there's a link in it. There's got to be somewhere, there has to be a way to be able to put them through this funnel. So if all you're ever doing is just creating stuff without a call to action, it's not an income producing activity. So you want to think about what kind of activities can I do, personalize it to you. What kind of activities can I do that would be considered income producing, right? That would be considered one of the 3 C's, or can be considered Atlas. Another thing, I'm telling you 3 C's right now because that's what I've used for a decade, but the new word all of us can remember is Atlas, right? What is an income producing activity? Atlas. Something that drives affiliate traffic, leads, and sales. Affiliate traffic, leads, and sales. It's easy. It's on your hand. Memorize it. Affiliate traffic, leads, and sales, right? So that's my income producing activities. So creating content would be a great one. That one we'll expand on a lot. In a couple weeks, Next week we're going to talk about paid advertising. That's a great one because you're creating traffic. Paid advertising is traffic generation. The following week, we're going to teach about faceless content. That's great because creating content is a way to be able to use attraction marketing. Create content and attract people in with a call to action. The next week, we're going to teach AI Academy. AI, it's going to be basically AI marketing, right? We're going to teach all these tools. That's going to be great because that's going to help you create more content. Once you learn AI, it's going to make things even faster. Okay, so AI tools are going to help you do that. So each week is going to be dedicated towards a different element of it, okay? So create traffic. Content's a great way. Advertising's a great way. Blogging, YouTube videos, posting on social media, posting on stories, making reels, reaching out to people, making a warm market list, having text message conversations, having DMs, any kind of conversation with people, whether it's direct or whether it's indirect through your content, is essentially going to be what you use to drive traffic. And it's either going to fall in one or two categories. It's either going to be paid or organic, aka free. So it's either going to be free or paid. An example is a YouTube video would be free, even though you might pay somebody to edit it. Ultimately, it's a free platform. It's free to upload. It's free to use. YouTube would be free, but a Facebook ad would be paid, right? TikTok would be free, but a TikTok ad would be paid. And when it comes to paid, there's also going to be joint ventures, collaborations, influencer partnerships. There's going to be things where you can use money besides just paid ads. For example, you could pay an influencer. You could find somebody who does videos on YouTube or TikTok or something like that. And usually they'll leave a business email. You can reach out to that business email and you can contact them and say, hey, I'd love to sponsor one of your videos. You know, let's talk your rates, and let's put together a package, but I'd love to sponsor some of your videos. And then they'll just give you a shout out to your link. And then if it worked, you'll be able to track that. You'll be able to put tracking code on the link. And if that person shouts it out, if you give them $500 and that makes you $1,000, try it again. And you keep getting better and keep getting more influencers, okay? Not everyone will work. Some influencers suck, and it is what it is, but that's an example. Once you master the game of traffic, then the next step is leads. Leads is where you intercept the traffic. So the idea that I'll give you is this, is if I drive traffic straight to an affiliate offer. So let's say that I'm a ClickFunnels affiliate. ClickFunnels is an affiliate program that helps entrepreneurs build sales funnels online in minutes. So let's say that I'm an affiliate for ClickFunnels, okay? It's like $100 a month. They're going to pay like $40 a month in commissions or whatever. So I'm an affiliate. If I send you a link and you go straight to ClickFunnels and you don't buy, that's all that happens out of the transaction. I sent you a link and you either bought or you didn't buy. If I'm an Amazon affiliate, same thing. You can sign up for the Amazon affiliate program. If I send you a link and say, hey, here's this great deal on Amazon, and you click it and you don't buy, I don't get paid. That's generally the end of it. I don't even have a way to follow back up with you, right? But granted, instead of sending you the link directly, if I capture you as a lead first and then send you the link, now I have you as a lead and I can send you an email every single day for the next 10 years. And maybe you didn't buy that one thing, but you might buy the next thing or the next thing or the next thing. A perfect example is when I ran this Atlas promo with Internet Income System, I'm able to see which customers had purchased what products prior to this, right? And pretty much like 90% of the people that joined this offer had purchased something from me previously. So even just that alone, just by capturing a lead, if they do buy, buyers are likely to continue buying. So the most important type of lead you want to generate is called a buyer's lead. Somebody who has purchased something, whether it's for $10, $20, whatever. So every person that joins and purchases for $20, buyers are likely to keep buying, right? So think about somebody who buys, think about a mobile game. Think about like a game you play on your mobile phone and it has an in-app purchase. There's going to be one crowd that says, no way, I'm never paying. I don't care if it's $1. I'm never going to give it money because all I'm doing is I'm spending, I work hard for my money and I'm buying pixels on a screen on a game I don't really care about. So you're going to have some people are going to say no. But then some people are actually willing to like, hey, my time is money. I'm going to pay to remove the ads. Hey, I like this game. I'm going to pay to make it more fun. The type of person that pays will likely download another game and then upgrade almost immediately to their paid products. Buyers are buyers. Does this make sense? Buyers continue buying. The type of person that's going to buy this, a lot of people are going to buy this course have likely already bought another course. A course buyer is like 100 times more likely to buy a course than somebody who's never bought a course before. Somebody who's never spent money on a course or a product or a mastermind or something in our industry, it's a harder sell. That's like another example I'll give you is in network marketing, right? In network marketing, I never went after brand new people. I rarely ever targeted brand new people that have never been in network marketing. I always targeted people who had already had like a background in network marketing, because if somebody's been in network marketing once, they're like 100 times more likely to join a new company than somebody who's never been in network marketing. So the main point I'm trying to make is buyers are buyers. When you understand this psychology, you'll understand that when you want to generate leads, the most important thing is to start to get a buyer's list. Your buyer's list is what's going to build your lifetime value. It's what's going to make you the most money. But you're also just going to have some free leads. A free lead is somebody who just took your free offer. Maybe you said, hey, I got an ebook. There's 101 AI tools for entrepreneurs to help you make money. 101, and it's free. Here's an ebook. I just need your name and your email. So they put in their name, their email, boom, it goes on your email list, and then you email them the ebook. There's a transaction. It's called ethical bribe in the industry, if you guys ever hear that line, or it's called a lead magnet. You gave a magnet that pulled them in and said, I want that. And you say, cool, here's the bribe. The bribe is, I want your name and email address, and this is a good enough thing to give you in return. Fair? That's sort of what it is. It's an exchange. You're basically saying, I want your name and email because I want to be able to follow up with you, and I want an audience of people that want to hear about my stuff. In exchange, I'm willing to create and give you something of value. Here's this thing of value in exchange for your information. That is essentially leads. And once people are on your list, you're going to promote stuff, and when they buy, you're going to segment them out into another list, a buyer's list, and your buyer's list is going to be your gold. That is going to be where you're going to make the most amount of money because buyers are buyers. Your idea is you want to take like a big list, let's say 10,000 free leads, and then you want to try to get people to buy. And let's say 100 people buy something out of 10,000. That would be 1%. That 100-person list is now better than that 10,000-person list. So it's not the size of the list. It's just about filtering through and seeing who are the most serious people on this list. And over time, you're going to have a lot of success. So you create the traffic, you get the content out there, you capture leads, you build your own email list, and you start delivering value to them. You start building a relationship where they want to open your emails. They want to see what you have, because everything you give is just like everybody else is selling them. It's always a discount code, a promo code, a sale. Here's a 7 payment available. Here's a 25 pay available for you. We'll finance this thing for life for you if you want. Pay no interest. Here's a sale on the cars. They're just constantly bombarded by spam in their email. And then here's you just like giving away free stuff that you could easily be charging for. That's what you want to do to your leads. Value. And then when you pitch, they're so used to opening your emails and clicking your links that you're going to get a lot of attention on whatever the offer is. And then that's when you're going to convert sales. Where you're going to convert sales is once you have this list and it's highly engaged and you're getting open rates over 50%. So if you have a list of 1,000 people, you should be getting 500 opens. And then you should be getting at least 20% of those opens should be clicking the link. So 1 out of 5 people that open that email should click on it. If you have a link, they should click on it. Because if they're opening and not even clicking, then they're just likely cleaning out their inbox. You know, they're just the type of people that are just trained to just open stuff. You want the click shows that they're actually super engaged. So it's really the metric that really is important is how many people can you get to click a link. Now, real quick, a way that you can test this. Some of you already have an existing list. So a way that you can actually go out there and test this in real time is if you have an existing list that you've maybe bought from, paid for at some point, or you've tried something before, here's what I would do. I would clip one of my videos. Okay, take a clip out of one of my videos. You can record your screen, whatever, clip it. Give like a 5-minute version of it or whatever, 10-minute version. Take that and post it on a YouTube channel, but make the video unlisted. So take a video, take any clip of mine. There's software also. There's software on the internet you can use to like download Vimeo. That's like Vimeo Downloader. It's a Chrome extension. You can download Vimeos. So you can download download and clip one of my videos. Go to your YouTube channel, create one if you don't have one, and upload that video to your YouTube, but not public. Don't make it public. there's an option to call unlisted. So take that video and make it unlisted on YouTube, which means only people with a link are going to be able to view that video. This is a social experiment, and I want you to try this. Then email your list. Email your list 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I don't care how many times. Email your list that you have this video. Probably don't use the word free, because free usually gets flagged in spam and stuff like that. But email your list a few different ways to try to get them to watch this video. And then you'll be able to, don't share the link with anybody else but your email. Now you'll be able to log into your YouTube and you'll see how many plays that video has. Nobody in the public can click on it. Only people with the link, only people in your email can click on it. So it's a simple way right now that you could take something of massive value and give it to them for free. If they're not willing to click and play a video of massive value for free, then you don't even really have a list. And some of you are going to be shocked. Some of you are going to realize, wow, these people aren't even clicking. I'm getting some opens, but they're not even clicking. That's the key. The key is how many clicks you get. So if you have a list of 100 people or 200 or 500 or 1,000 people, do this test. Try this. And now, if you have a list of like, if you have like a list of like 10,000 people even, some of you have a list of like 5,000, 10,000 people you bought from other places. And I doubt you're even going to get 10 views on that video. So if you can't give away something for free that other people are paying for and you got your hands on it for free, if you can't even give that away and get 10, 20 people to even want it for free, then you don't really have a list. And you got to start from scratch. You got to start from scratch, right? We got to build. So converting sales is the hardest of all of this. And converting sales is essentially being able to figure out, how can I cultivate a list enough that when I pitch them, that they're going to want to hear what I have to offer. And I have found in my experience, the best way to do that is to be so value driven that they look forward to your next email. Whether it's coming from a faceless brand, whether it's your AI videos that are dropping gems, whether it's whether it's you and your personality, try to get to a point where your communication to your list is so valuable where they look forward to that next email. They want that next email because you are helping them, giving them something they're passionate about, and actually delivering true value. And you'll know that through your open rates. So last thing I want to say about this is that I tell people, when you're building a list out there, when you're building a following, don't even pitch them. It's not worth it. Don't even pitch them. Everybody always says, hey, I got this list. Can I send them an email about this? Well, why would you think about this for a second? Why would you do that? Because first, you want to gather some data, which is who on my list is actually even engaged. If you just send a promo, it's just going to get people to unsubscribe or not care about being on your list. Your list is not fun. You don't email them for a long time and then suddenly you email them some promotion. By the way, garbage is all it's going to be. Every promotion, no matter even if it's a good company, it's going to be garbage. You could say, well, I'm promoting Amazon. They got a Black Friday deal. It's still garbage. The only thing not garbage is going to be value. What I would do is I would set up, if you're thinking about trying to figure out how to be able to work with anybody out there that you already know, whether it's an email list, a social media list, or anything, I would go all value and I would see who you attract. I would go all pure value and I would say, who do you attract? Who can you have conversations with privately about business? Don't look like you're just trying to sell something because you're just going to turn people off. Don't look like you're trying to sell something, right? Everybody, look, let me make a statement right now. I get sick at the amount of pitches that I get in my DMs, in my email, LinkedIn. Are you kidding? I get pitched like 20, 30 times a day on LinkedIn. It's like the pitch fest of all pitch fests on LinkedIn. I don't even check my LinkedIn inbox anymore because it's guaranteed it's going to be about 40 to 50 pitches for every one actual message that means anything to me. One real message, I got to filter through 40 to 50 pitches. On my Facebook DMs, right? So many of you message me all the time. It's hard for me to get to you because I got to filter through all the people that are just cold pitching me. They're just horrible pitches. They're just cold pitching me out of the blue. It's crazy. My point is that it makes me sick watching all these people, and most of them are scammers. Most of the people that are actually spending the time doing this, it's a scam. So let me ask you, if you came in and tried to sell me something, Am I going to see it as like, hey, here's a genuine just conversation I'm having with a friend? Or is it just going to look like you're just another one of these scammers spamming my inbox? It's frustrating. I can't believe I clicked on it. I got to delete it. Why don't these people just stop? Right? It's annoying. If you're an influencer, you're probably getting 100 of those things a day. It's annoying. It does not work. Do not do it. It does not work. It's super ineffective, and it actually gives everybody a bad name, especially if you did that and you mentioned our company. If you mention our names, if you mention my name, I'm working with Chris Record, and it's you make 100% commissions and you make 40% commissions, then there's you start saying all this and you throw up on people. You're throwing up on them, and you're mentioning my name for credibility in your throw up. It's nasty. It's sickening to me. It makes me sick to my stomach. I actually feel like a little bit right here, swirling around. I feel a little sick just talking about it. It's sickening. So why am I telling you this? Because don't do it. Don't do it. In fact, the best strategy you could all use is to just not do this ever. Like, until you are a pro. It's sickening to me. It would just, the simplest thing in the world, like if I had a piece of tape right now, I would literally just, there we go. Okay. Let's see, can I get that to stay for a second? All right, hold on. This is it. Okay. It's at least working a little bit there. Let's see if it stays up. All right. It wants to. There. Now I'm not sick. Okay? Just, even though it's there, let me do it for you. Let me do the sales for you. Let somebody else do the sales for you. When you're reaching out to people through your communications, you're all overselling it. I see all you guys say all this stuff. Affiliate marketing. It's not, you are not the salesperson. You are not the message. You are the messenger. There's a huge difference, right? You want to go out there and generate traffic and leads and then lead them to somewhere where there will be a sale, but do not do the sale yourself. It will make you look bad. It will make the company look bad. It will make me look bad. It will make our community look bad. It will make all these friendly faces look bad. Everybody here will look bad because most of you aren't expert salespeople. Most of you don't understand how to be able to even present information. So it's 100 times better to not even present the information at all. It would be so much better just to give something away for free and say, would you like more? Yes, here you go. And lead them into our community. And let us do the selling and the telling. So this is how all affiliate marketing should be. Okay? Until you get good at sales. Once you get good at sales, which is why we have it, because you should get good at sales at some point. Once you get good at sales, then the benefit is you're actually able to do it all yourself. Once you can accomplish your way through this, once you get to here, you no longer need a Chris Record in your life. You no longer need somebody else to build a funnel for you, or you no longer need somebody else to do a video sales letter for you, and you don't need somebody else to pitch something for you. Eventually, you're in full control. What's nice about that is now you can just pick whatever offer you want to promote, and then you put together your own affiliate traffic leads and sales to pour into that. That is expert level. That is that God tier, right? That is that high level tier that you want to get to, where you are in full control to be able to create your own income for the rest of your life with pure freedom, because you're not waiting on anybody, relying on anybody. If somebody says, oh, it'll be done in a couple days, it's done a week later, you get irritated because you're just waiting for somebody else. And I get it. I've been on the fulfillment end going like, hey, something's coming in a couple days and it's not gonna be done for a week. It sucks. But eventually you're gonna get to the point where you don't have to wait for anybody. You could just be in control. You can wake up in the morning and do what you want once you master this. But in the beginning, don't. Do me a favor. If you guys are posting on Facebook, or if you're doing promotions or reaching out to people, if you're pitching Atlas, you're pretty much doing it wrong. If you're pitching the internet income system, you're pretty much doing it wrong. In fact, if I'm an affiliate for ClickFunnels and I'm pitching ClickFunnels, I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. That is not the right way to sell ClickFunnels. To sell ClickFunnels, I don't make an email and say, hey, everybody, ClickFunnels is having a sale. Go buy it. That is wrong. What I would do is I would say, hey, everybody, I'm doing a free training. The free training is on how to build a sales funnel from scratch. Not only that, but as a bonus for attending this free training, I'm going to give you a funnel completely done for you. Just give it to you. And this same funnel that I'm going to give to you, I just used, and look at this screenshot. I just made $10,000 using this funnel and this strategy. If you get on this Zoom, I'm going to teach you the strategy and give you the funnel, and then you can go out and use it. Now, all I'm doing, I'm the hero. I'm just giving things away. And so people get on the webinar and I say, hey, this done for you sales funnel, just tell me what your ClickFunnels account is, and I'll send it over to your ClickFunnels account. And if you don't have one, here, just get a free trial. Here's the little link for the free trial. You got to have one so I can send it to you. Here's the link for the free trial. I'm still the hero. I just want to give them something for free. I just need their account, right? Here's a link for a free trial. That alone will get 90% of people to sign up for a free trial so that they can have the bonus. And then 80% of those free trials are going to stick. And I just did this massive amount of commissions. Now I'm making 8 to 10 grand a month off of a single Zoom. Do you see what I'm saying? And if I already had the list built, then I didn't even need to do any promotion. I could just have an existing list. Maybe I got a list of 10,000 people. I do a big Zoom, and then next thing you know, I'm making $4 grand a month with ClickFunnels just by giving stuff away for free. That is so much better of a way to sell things. It is so much better to do it that way, to give things away for free. So how can you guys give stuff away for free? The easiest way is going to be able to learn clipping. If you can just learn clipping, you can just clip pieces of all of these academies, clip little pieces of all the content that we do, and those are your little sample packs. You just clip the content, you just go out there and you give it away for free. Another way to do it is if you don't want to do the video editing, then just take notes. Just take notes and then share your notes. Or when we learn about talking avatars, like creating AI content, just type your notes into a little script and then have the avatar read the summary and just share that content with people, right? So those are the two easiest ways. Clip my content and share it, or take notes and then create content with your notes, whether it's a written post, whether it could be a slideshow. You could take the notes and put them on slides inside of Canva and just narrate it with your voice, and then there's a training. You don't even have to have your face. There's so many ways. You just give away free stuff, and then all you gotta do is say, hey, if you're interested in watching the whole training, just DM me. Hey, you want the whole training? Just shoot me a DM. And now, for the whole training, you just go, hey, this is, I'm part of Atlas, which is a community. There's a video that explains it and everything, but it's not just this full training. I give you like a little 10-minute clip or 5-minute clip. That was part of a 2-hour session, but Chris Record actually goes live 5 times per week, 2 hours per day. And it's like, he's built this massive vault of on-demand content. You can basically get access to it all. Here's a video that's going to show you can sign up. You're going to be able to get access to all of that. You don't even have to mention price. You don't have to mention anything else. You just shoot them over the video link and then let me sell them on why they should get this as a bonus when they join the internet income system. And boom, you're making money. Life is easy. It's easy to make money when you realize you are not the salesperson, not in the beginning, not until you're making money. Once you start making like $10,000 a month, people are going to start coming out of the woodwork asking you, what are you doing? How are you getting those results? Even people in the community are going to be just like, what? How on earth are you getting those results? Everybody's going to start asking you, and you're going to start getting confident and realize, wow, I've learned a skill. I know what I'm doing now. Let me teach it. And then as you start teaching it, start for free, start teaching people for free. As you start teaching for free, then you get a little bit of teaching experience and mentoring experience. And now you can go create your own little course. You create a little course that's like, hey, here's a simple course. It's $100. And it's here's a step-by-step. I've got 8 videos. They're an hour long each, where I break down exactly what I did to make my first $10,000 a month online marketing. And now you got your own little 10 videos that you made in your part-time, and then sell for $100. And now you can sell that to your list. And now you can sell that to the public. You can get affiliates. You can go promote it. You get influencers to promote it. And then all the leads that you get from that, you can promote this to anyways. Now you're just starting to stack residual streams of income. As you start to have success, it snowballs and it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. That's why they say like the rich get richer, right? The idea is once you get money, then you could just see, at first we're trading time for money. But once we get money, now we're trading money for time. Does that make sense? So at first we trade our time for money like a job, but eventually once we start making enough money, once we actually start making enough, now I'm like, hey, I'm working 4 hours a day editing videos. Let me just pay somebody to do that task. And I've just bought 4 hours of time back. So essentially money is used to buy time. In the beginning, we trade time for money, but eventually we're going to trade money for time. And we're still going to be able to have everything scale even better. Preacher Chris came back out. Let me see. 40 more minutes. Let me check in with the chat real quick. How are you guys doing? Coach Chris has opened his playbook for us. I'm so glad I'm here to witness and consume this value. Can you guys believe that these sessions are $1? Like, first of all, I still got 40 more minutes left. Give me a 1 in the chat if this has been worth $1. Give me a 1 in the chat if it's been worth $1. Just, did I reach that mark at least? Or some of you were kind of like 90 cents. He's almost there. 80 cents. He's getting there, but I'd still rather go get the chicken nuggets, you know? I mean, think about this. It's $1. This episode, it's a TV series, whatever, but it's teaching money-making strategies. It's $1. And I'm more principle-based. I don't like to focus too much on practices because then this video will be outdated in 6 months. If I just went on and just taught like specific practices, like specific tools right now, it'll be outdated in 3 months. So I'm trying to teach principles, things that still 10 years from now, the value here will still be good. You guys are saying it's worth $1 a second. Well, how many second? I don't know. I don't know about that. How many? That's maybe $1. Let's say $1 a minute. $1 a second is flattering. Let's say $1 a minute, right? Because it's been 80 minutes. It's worth $80. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you there. But 80 times, what's 80 times 60? What's that? 4,800. So it's been worth $4,800. My math could have been way off by like tens of thousands. I would have no idea right there. 7,200 seconds in 2 hours. So it's worth 7,200 just for this one session. I don't know. Maybe it's 7,200 for the whole 12 weeks. Yes, I would agree with that. Okay, so let's talk more about some specific income producing activities like traffic. I think these are going to be key. Traffic and IPAs. Some of you beer drinkers, you see the word IPA and you just think something different. Get your mind out the gutter. We're talking about income producing activities. So I'm going to do a little interactive. So if you're watching the on demand, don't worry. I like to, even if you're watching on demand, we probably still have some live classes. I think it's only fair for live viewers to get a little bit of an interactive experience. So live viewers, live attendees right now, I want you to throw some income producing activities in the chat. I want you to think of some. I'm going to pick some and I'm going to put them on the board. And we're going to try to fill up this board right now. Okay, now if you're on demand, if you're watching this as a replay, inside of the Facebook group, there's a specific post for the Affiliate Marketing Academy that you could find. And you could always ask any questions there. Come up with some, if you want to just put down some answers, put them there. Income producing activity. So we're gonna do some subcategories. So creating content was one. So let's go ahead, let's put content. But then let's put types of content. Clipping. What are the types of content you guys got? Reels. AI shorts. Okay, let's do some more. Now, taking notes. Okay, let's talk about that one for a second. Taking notes in itself, let's make this 80-20 rule. Okay, so let's say that there's learn and then there is do. Okay? Those are the two categories, the learn and the do, right? So an example of learn would be take notes. Okay. That would be an example of learning something. But an example of doing something would be share notes. Does that make more sense? It's a similar but different activity. Taking notes is when you are learning. Sharing the notes is marketing. And it's a subtle difference. Sharing the notes sometimes requires a little bit getting out of your comfort zone a little bit, because now people are seeing your notes. They're seeing something. And we tend to be creatures that have fear of judgment, right? Taking notes is personal. That's my own space. I'm in my own bubble. I don't have to deal with people. No peopling today. I'm just taking notes. I could just be a live viewer. At most, maybe I got my webcam turned on. That's like out of my comfort zone already. Maybe I'm wondering if people are looking at me, you know? In fact, who's this? Let's see. Look at this little, hold on. We're going to put this one, spotlight this. There you go. Look at that. There's one of our attendees right there using an avatar, kind of like one of the fun ones that's built in. I just think that's very, very entertaining. Oh, it's gone. It's changing. It's changing. Anyways, I just wanted to spotlight that as a random tangent. But my point is that for some of us, even having our camera on is out of our comfort zone. I didn't do my makeup today, or I'm slouched on the couch right now, or I got kids running around making noise, or I'm sneaking this in while I'm at work. Maybe I'm just on audio only. You know, there's just all kinds of things we do, right? So sharing the notes is where you say, you know what? I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to be a marketer and I'm going to actually start marketing. This is an important learn, do type difference, right? So as I come up with things, we're going to do this. Now let's go back to the comments. Texting. Yeah. So let's call that another category over here. Communication would be a nice one. Communication, right? So we're talking, texting, and we're going to talk about the difference there too. DMs. If anybody wants to, I don't want to put up everything. I'm going to wait. I'm going to let you guys do some of them. Emails, good. Conversations is pretty much communication. Zoom. Nah, Zoom is more for selling. Zoom is not really a good tool unless you're selling. So Zoom is more for if you're going to do the selling yourself. Phone would be a good one though. Yep, that works. Webinars is selling. I don't mind. I mean, it's part of Atlas. It is a real thing. But I think the point I'm trying to get across right now is more or less like I'm trying to focus less on you doing the sales yourself, just so that more people can succeed. Because if you're good enough to do sales, you don't even need me to tell you to do it. You don't need me to tell you to jump on a Zoom with somebody and show them the website. You already know that would be a great idea. Like, hey, let's get on Zoom, and I'll log into my account and I'll show you around. That's what I would do. Actually, that's what I did, didn't I? Before we launched, isn't that exactly what I did? Like, a few days leading up, I just logged in. I just went on Zoom and I logged in and showed you guys around. Okay, what else? Checking analytics? Nah. Learning would be like studying, which would include like things like even studying like even product knowledge is you're learning about the product. There's a difference between like gaining product knowledge and selling a product. So if I were to, for example, Mike, gained product knowledge about a camera he wanted me to buy. He's setting it up right now in the background, which is why if the screen's not switching a bunch, he's over there with some tools in his hand. You want to show him? Is it enough? Is it set up enough where you can bring it over here and show him real quick? No, it ain't. Oh, that would be cool. Let me see. Can it even be held up, or is it gonna fall apart?
The camera's allowed. It doesn't have a lens.
Oh yeah, without lens. Just show him. Just bring it over. Just bring it over real quick, bro. Hold on. Tangent. Pattern interrupt. We just bought this camera. Let's see. You can see it right here. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, we just bought this camera, Ronin 4D. Let's see how close I can get this thing. Mike, tell me. Oh, here, you hold it right here next to the camera. Hold it up there and try to get it in focus a little bit. Let them see this thing. It's a Ronin 4D camera. We just bought that. It's an expensive little gadget. He's in the background setting that up. It's pretty cool. I just wanted to show people because we're going to be doing all of our sales videos with that, our marketing videos, stuff like that, and music videos. That camera wasn't cheap, by the way. It's like 10 grand. Well, if you include like the lenses. It's crazy. Easily one of the stupidest purchases I ever made. But we have clients that pay us a lot of money for those videos, and so it's like, that's just a small fraction of what they paid for the work to be done. But I still, even though it's just a small fraction, even though we're just reinvesting profit from a project where that's helpful, I still like, my point with it is that Mike had to learn product knowledge about that product in order to get to the point to decide if we needed to buy it or not. So studying a product, learning about a product is not an income producing activity. It is not. Learning is not. Then we made the decision to buy. Buying is not an income producing activity. Then we're assembling. Assembling is not an income producing activity. The reason I want to share this is because it gets to a point where filming the actual, let's say we film a music video. Let's say a client pays us like 50 grand, which is the average price right now that I sell a music video for. So when you see these like sponsored videos and stuff that I do for different brands and stuff like that, usually $50,000. That's usually the deal that I sell those for. So when you see like me pumping out, if you ever see me like doing music on YouTube and I'm promoting a brand, it's usually $50,000 is usually the cost for that. So 50,000, right? For actually filming the music video with that camera is the income producing activity. The true income producing activity, the best income producing activity is selling the client on $50,000, collecting the $50,000. That's the pure income producing activity. But the things that lead up to it are a combination of learning and doing that lead to that, right? So at first, we got to research all the different cameras. Then we got to narrow it down. Then we got to choose which one. Then we got to learn a little bit about that one, make sure we get it. Then we got to figure out what parts need to go with it. Then we got to order it. Then we got to assemble the parts. Then we got to put it together. We got to learn how to be able to use it. Then we got to go out and film. We got to take it. Then we got to edit the video, put it all together, ship it to the client, and we fulfilled. During that process, you could argue all of it is important to the process of making an income, and it is. The problem is that if you stop halfway, if all we did was learn about the various types of cameras and buy one and set it down on the shelf, there was no income generated, therefore it's not an income producing activity. And I don't know how many of you have actually done that before. How many of you have ever made a purchase for something for your business, thinking this will help me in my business, and you never used the thing? I mean, there's a lot of, I don't know if anybody else has that experience, right? I know my ex-girlfriend bought a camera like far more expensive than that. She bought a Red digital cinema camera, which is like what Hollywood quality, because she wanted to make these Hollywood videos. And she had money, so she bought it. And she never made a video with it. And it just sat in her closet, and it was too expensive, like she was too worried about using it and breaking it. We're some interesting creatures, aren't we? We're easily sold, and it's hard for us to take action. Okay, let's get back on track. Look at you guys on a tangent over here. Obviously, I'm trying to keep you guys on track, and you guys are doing tangents, wanting to see the camera and stuff like that. So let's get back on track. Class, let's get back on track. Give me some more income producing activities. Come on. One-on-one conversations. Let's just call that in person. Example is like, if I'm going to jump in an Uber, right now I don't have a car. I gave Mike my car so he could have another car for the family. So I don't have a car right now. So if I want to go somewhere, I just jump in an Uber. So I jump in the Uber. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start asking questions to the Uber driver. Hey, so how long you been an Uber driver? Like how many miles do you think you've done so far? Oh man, you like it? Are you thinking about like trying to make this your career? No? What do you think about doing? Oh, that's cool. I'm just kind of have a casual conversation like that. I'm actually not really just cracking my back. I'm pretending like I'm in the back of an Uber, just like kind of just barely having a conversation. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. So what do you think your career is going to be? I mean, what do you think you're going to do after this? Like, are you saving up for something? Are you working towards something? What are your goals? Da, 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 da. You start asking questions. I just ask question after question after question, super casual. And then the Uber driver eventually always says the same thing. Does anybody in the chat want to guess what the Uber driver says when I'm done asking questions? Who wants to? Who's going to get it right? First person is Laurel. Hold on. First person to respond was Laurel correctly. What do you do? Laurel Bartosh. Laurel, shoot me your PayPal. I'm going to give you $100 for the right answer. The first person with the right answer. So Laurel Bartosh, if you can remind me. I'm going to put LB up here so I remember. Okay, $100. I like fast answers. I also like when people attend live, so gotta throw some money around. They always ask, after I ask a series of questions, then they go, okay, because I've engaged. We're having a conversation. I'm asking about you. The polite thing to do is for them to turn around and ask me, what do you do? Now, this is attraction marketing. If I just come out and said, hey, what's your name? Bob, I'm actually an online marketer. I do affiliate marketing. I make money on the internet. I promote things and people pay me. Do you want to make money on the internet, Bob? We're going to make money. I'm going to make you a lot of money. How much money do you want? Come on, let's double that. I'm going to make you double that, Bob. Bob, we're going to get that bag. You know, if I just start talking like that to Bob, it's just kind of weird. It's kind of a put off. It's aggressive. It feels fake. It feels like this is too good to be true. It just feels annoying. There's a difference between, you're like a pest. You're like bothering them. You're like a fly flying around. They're trying to swat it. And you're just like, make money, zzz, make money. No, I'm just going to ask question, because questions are the answers, right? Questions are the answers. After asking enough questions, Bob's going to turn around and say, well, what do you do? Now, stop right there. One of the things that you're going to want to do as an entrepreneur, as an affiliate marketer, is you're going to want to have an answer for that. And that answer needs to be something that's comfortable for you. Now, you might be thinking, I don't even want to talk to a single person in my life about this, right? In person. That's fine. You don't ever have to. But you should still have the answer. What happens when somebody DMs you? Hey, I'm interested in hearing more about this thing. What is it? Wait, hold on. I don't get it. What do you do? This looks interesting. I've always wanted to learn about this. What do you do? One of your homework assignments should be to craft up a simple, for a fifth grader, at the fifth grade level, an explanation of what you do. But it shouldn't just be an answer. Questions are the answers. So really all you're doing is you're going to ask them a question in return, because every single response has to end with a question. Does anybody want to tell me why? Every time when you interact with people, whether it's texting, DMs, email, phone, this content creates communication. This communication is going to create conversions, right? So why is it that you always want to ask a question at the end of a conversation, at the end of your reply? To keep them engaged. To leave it open-ended so they have to respond. It keeps the communication going, keeps the conversation going, to keep them engaged. Always respond with a question. Right? So, think about this. This is important. Now, what is the difference between an elevator pitch or a value statement about what you do and what I'm talking about? What I'm talking about is not an elevator pitch. By the way, I see a lot of people say elevator pitch and stuff like that. I don't think an elevator pitch is the right thing to do, because I think the vast majority of people you're talking to aren't investors. They're not people who are analyzing companies on a daily basis and they're looking for that one pitch that could be the next unicorn. So an elevator pitch is not the right form of communication to a prospect. Don't treat your prospect like they are Bill Gates or Warren Buffett or Mark Cuban or Damon John or one of these Shark Tank people or something. Kevin Harrington or Mr. Wonderful. I don't know who all these people are. Don't think that they're not investors. Why would you give them an elevator pitch? Listen, an elevator pitch the concept is similar. Nobody in the chat was wrong for that. The concept is similar. The idea of an elevator pitch is to keep a summary of what you do so concise that it can be said to somebody in an elevator ride up to a floor. The short and conciseness of it, yes, valuable. However, the answer is not an elevator pitch to what do you do. The answer is a question. Your whole entire thing is to keep control of the conversation. When I ask you a question in DM or anywhere, I'm in control. When you ask me a question, you're in control. So even the moment that the Uber driver says, well, what do you do? I've steered the conversation. I've controlled where the conversation went to my desired outcome. Now, the control is turned to where now the Uber driver is the one in control asking questions. First, and most importantly, I need to take back that control so I can now that I've steered us to checkpoint 1, now I need to get us to checkpoint 2, which is I want to get the Uber driver interested in more information outside of this Uber ride. I do not want to pitch him on the Uber ride. I do not want to sell him. He's driving Uber. I don't want to see if he wants to drop $20 of my fare back to me. Hey, I got a good idea, Uber driver. If you I'm paying you for the ride. Just throw me back that 20 and then you could be in, No, I am not going to try to sell that person. So I don't need an elevator pitch because I got nothing to sell. What I want is a pre-qualified lead. I just want somebody interested in getting some more information from somebody else. Does this make sense? I am the messenger, not the message, right? So I want to steer them to somewhere they can get the information. So in the chat right now, who wants to know what is the main piece of information I want from Bob, the Uber driver, in order to, before I step out of that Uber, before I step out and I go walk into my restaurant, before I go walk into dinner, what is the main thing that I want to have happen? What is the main thing I want to give or get from Bob where I'm comfortable? Chat, where you at? I'm going to read them out loud for those of you watching the demand replay. Contact information. Yeah, I would say all I want is openness to receiving more information about sexy topic that I mentioned, right? Idea that has some appeal to it, right? I want to share a little bit, keep asking questions, share a little bit, keep asking questions. Not really tell them much. Keep it vague. See if they're open-minded. Collect information. Now, who wants to answer yes or no in the chat? There's only one answer to this question. Yes or no. Do I give Bob my information? Yes or no? Do I give Bob says, I'm interested. Here you go, Bob. Take down my number. Bob, take down my email. Bob, take down this link. Bob, write down this link. What information am I giving Bob? Right, but the question is the yes or no question. Everybody answered no. A couple of people answered yes. The answer is no. Oh, a few people answered yes. No, the answer is no. I do not give anybody my information. You do not give anybody your information. Because step 2 is capture leads. That's your step, not Bob's. Bob, the Uber driver, it's not his job to capture your lead. What's going to happen to your business card when you give it to Bob? What's going to happen to your business card? Where is it going to go? It's going to go wherever the other 1,000 business cards have gone. I don't know. Look, do you know how many people have given me their business cards? This year alone, hundreds. But I just don't know where any of them are. There's no business cards here. There's no business cards there. There's none in my pocket. There's none here. There's none in my car. Where are the business cards? Hundreds of people give me their cards. Who wants to guess how many of those people I call off of their card? Zero. The answer is zero. I call nobody. Even people that's cards are great. Even people whose cards have a reason to call, right? For example, the restaurant owner. Chris, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Jack. I own the restaurant here. You come in a lot. Here's my card. I still don't call Jack. I just don't call him. It's not going to work. Now, if Jack got my contact info instead, he could reach out to me and say, hey, Chris, just checking in on you. Hey, listen, this Friday we've got a new menu coming out. And if you want, if you got a date or something to bring by, we'd love to get you a reservation on the books with us. We'd love to have you come in and try. In fact, I'll even comp you some desserts for you and a friend. Now I'm coming in the restaurant. Do you see what I'm saying? That works. The person with the offer that they want the other people to have is the collector of contact information. Okay? You need to capture leads. You do not give people your contact information. Even when people want to exchange contact information with me, I don't do it because it's just them being polite. They don't really want my contact information. If they want more information, I'm going to be responsible of giving them more information. So here's what happens. If Bob says, hey, let's exchange information, I hear that as, I'm going to get Bob's contact info. That's what I heard. And then what I'm going to do, if Bob says, well, let's exchange information, I say, sure, Bob, what's your email? I'll email you, and then you'll have my email. I'll email you, and in the signature, I'll have like my contact info. What's your email? That's it. I'm not going to give Bob my number. I'm not going to give Bob my email. I'm not going to give Bob my social media. I don't want random lurkers watching my social media, randomly hoping that one day, maybe they reach out of the blue. If I get the contact information and if they're open-minded, they're interested, and I get their contact info, then I'm in control. I leave the Uber, I go eat, I go home, I add him into a Google Contacts list. I go to open up Google Contacts, which is free. I add him into a list, I create a list. I add him into a list of my Atlas leads. And now Bob's going to get an email every single day for the next year. That's going to be my relationship with Bob until he buys. Right? It is out of sight, out of mind, because I'm just going into Google Contacts, I'm going into my Gmail, and I'm just sending a BCC email. You go into Gmail, you log in where it says BCC, blind carbon copy. You type in the list name. You just type in the word Atlas. Because you made a list in Google Contacts called Atlas, and you add contacts in every day whenever you make contacts from whatever. They send them to you on DMs, whatever, you add them in there. I'll do a tutorial on that because I don't want to log into my Gmail right now, but I'll put a tutorial on that in the back office, and you just start there. Now, eventually Gmail is gonna restrict how many people you can send email to, so then you're gonna need a bigger list building tool, but you start somewhere. That's where I started. I used Google Contacts for my first 400 leads. My first 400 opt-ins were all on Google Contacts. I still send a Google Contacts email a couple times a week to my Google Contacts. Many of you I've sent Google Contacts emails from. Sometimes you'll notice the emails will change. That's because the email address, it'll be still for me, it'll all look like the same, but some of you will look a little bit closer and you'll notice a slightly different format. That's because it's coming from Google Contacts. So I'll do a tutorial on that for you guys, but you understand, that's my point. My point is that all I do in all my marketing, all that I do is I go out there and I create content and I tell people I create content to attract people, to get a tribe around me. Then I have conversations with the tribe. I say, hey, shoot me a DM if you're interested. Then I have conversations every day. Every single day, without fail, I have about 30 to 40 Facebook messages at minimum where I'm typing in and pressing enter. And I usually spend about 1 hour a day on my social media communication. And I've done that for a long time. About an hour a day that I dedicate of my income producing activities, because having conversations in DMs is an income producing activity. So it's like, why would I not spend my time doing that? Probably out of all the activities, the one that I do the most is this one. I don't really talk to a lot of people in person because this is the grind. That's the slow grind. That's one at a time, finding some people out there. And I've elevated past that. I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm just saying I started there. I'm a pro at this. Like if you guys got a camera on me, I could go out and I could meet a bunch of people. Honestly, I don't like peopling and I don't like doing it in person. I don't really care to go out and meet. I don't want to make new friends. I don't really care to do it. However, I'm good at it. I learned this skill. I thought it would be a valuable skill in life to be able to build rapport with strangers and to be able to get good at communication and persuasion. I thought that would be a good skill to learn in life. It has paid well. So I learned it, even though I didn't like it, and I still don't like it. But I learned it enough that I don't have to do it anymore. Now, phone, I don't like the phone. I'm only going to work the phone if it's with a big player. So I call my big players coins. You guys will notice I've got a million acronyms, by the way. Does anybody want to guess what this stands for? In the comments. Okay, first person, $100. Who knows what it stands for? First person to tell me what I'm about to say coin stands for. What is a coin? Acronym. Jeffrey. Is that Jeffrey Frank? Jeff, bro, didn't you just win a bunch of money from me? All right, $100, Jeffrey Frank. Didn't I just give you a bunch of money? Literally? Didn't we just do this like a couple days ago? You got it first though. I said first, and you're good. Coins? The S is just the plural. COIN, Centers of Influence. It's not an exact acronym, but it's good enough. Centers of Influence. Okay. The only time that I make exceptions in my marketing, I normally go broad. I go through mass communication. I try to go broad. Paid advertising or organic marketing where they send me a DM. I almost always just ask for their email and DM, and then I just go add their email to a Google Contacts list and fire them off some information. And then forever, now they're on my follow-up list. Anytime I want to just send out a bulk email of value, I just send it to everybody on Gmail. Now, I start there, but then eventually, I don't want people replying back in Gmail to me, and I don't want to have my inbox full every day. So eventually, once you get up to like a lot of people, it's too much in there. So then I actually just moved to like an email platform. I moved to Aweber, GetResponse. Now I use HighLevel. And I use Kartra, my membership site. But there's platforms out there. Now I could just go to a little opt-in page, or I could just go in the back of Kartra. What I do right now is I just go in the back of Kartra, I click leads, and I put their first name, last name, and their email, press send, and then I go to a pre-scripted first email to send out. It's just like an Atlas email. I just put them on a list. Once I add them to the list, it automatically spits out an email to them. So I have my own system where I could just, if I just meet somebody and they give me their name and the email, boom, I got them on an autoresponder right off the bat. So if I'm in person, I'm going to get their email. If I'm on the phone with somebody, it's going to be a center of influence. I'm not going to spend my time on the phone to try to make a $20 sale. I'd rather work at McDonald's. It'd be more enjoyable because you're going to make less money per hour if you're on the phone all day. Now, if you're a good salesperson, then and you're closing people to go all in and spend $1,000, then the phone is great. Good salespeople could work the phone. Emails, I don't really care for emails. I choose to do email blasts, which is always like either BCC blast to people who have wanted information from me, or an email platform. An email platform is more professional. They can unsubscribe, stuff like that. DMs, this is where I live. I live here. This to me is life. This to me is my favorite place to make money. It is the money maker for me. It's the easiest thing to teach other people. Texting, I don't really like texting. Texting would be like close friends. Like today when I got some information, I shot out text to my friend Peter, to my friend George, to my friend Michael, my friend Sam, Christina, a couple other people. I shot out some texts to a few people because I had some information that was very interesting right before this call, and I shared it with a few people. Okay? Text is more like personal. I don't like really dealing with strangers on text, if I'm being honest. And I don't really love it. I'm not opposed to text blasts, that if you just get an opt-in list of text phone numbers and you're just blasting them. But to be honest, that's also pretty annoying. I I actually don't like I don't like receiving text blasts. So even if I was doing text blasts, I would never sell anything over text. I would never sell something. I would never say, get your deal, sign up now. That's spam. I honestly hate it. When everybody's talking about these spam complaint stuff, I actually like that there's spam laws in place because I hate that my phone is texted all the time with all this junk and garbage. Then I unsubscribe and they seem to keep sending it to me. Don't be that person, okay? But texting would be like close friends, phone, in person. Really, out of all these, the best communication is DMs. Here's what I like to do in a nutshell. I create content. It attracts people in. I ask them to send me a DM if they're interested, and then ultimately I'd like to get their email. Once I have their first name, last name, and email, I can add them to a list, and then I can send them out some information. Now that they're on a list, I don't have to think about the hardest thing in the world, which is the follow-up. In sales, the hardest thing in the world is the follow-up. People send you a DM and then you give them some information. Then you got to go back through all your DMs and go catch up on all those conversations and figure out what stage each person is in. And you have to figure out, okay, this person here, they've watched the video, but they need more information about joining. This person over here, they want to learn a little bit about the compensation plan. I got to follow up with them. This person, that's just too much work for me. I don't have time for that. So that's the hardest part about sales, and I just got rid of it. That's the hardest part. That's the part where most amateurs just fail, is they're just not willing to follow up. And they always, the old line I used to be taught was, fortune is in the follow-up. No, fortune is in the email blast. It's modern, 2023, right? I get them on the email. Then all I have to do is one follow-up per day with everybody. Just one follow-up. An example is like, hey, today I want to communicate with people that I'm live on Zoom. So I just send one email, live on Zoom, Affiliate Marketing Academy, day 3. Here's the link, join. One email, mass communication to whatever segment I need to communicate to. If I get emails from these people, then I can segment them into a list and I can communicate. Whether that's on Gmail, if I'm broke and I'm new and I'm just getting started and I only have 7 leads, I don't need to be paying $100 a month for a service. Once I actually figure out what I'm doing and I got a lot of attention, I start getting a bunch of leads, maybe I'll pay for a service and put them in there so I can do it right. But if I'm brand new, it's just throw them in Gmail, BCC them. I don't care, make a little list on a notepad. Make a list on a notepad if you want. I don't care. The point is you got to do it. You got to do it. That's the key. Okay? You have to figure out a way to create content that attracts people, whether it's paid or organic, whether it's your face or it's a personal brand, or it's faceless. You got to do something to get awareness. Once you get that attention, you got to draw them in and get them reaching out to you, engaging, wanting more. Tell them. Try to move that conversation to a direct message. Now you can have individual conversations, right? Or the link in the bio can go to a lead capture page that automates that. But less people are going to click the link in the bio. More people are going to be likely to DM you. A lot more people are going to be likely to send you DMs. When you get the DMs, you got to check you almost always are going to find most people's DMs to you are going to be in the spam inbox. So one of the first things you're going to need to learn on each platform is how to go in and check the spam inbox. That's where almost all DMs are going to go. Because a lot of people DMing you are going to be, you might not be friends with them. If you're creating content, you're going to get people that haven't even really ever had a communication. So most of my DMs are in spam. And then what I try to do, once I respond to them once, then it moves into the inbox. So every day I check for example, on Facebook, I check my main inbox, I check the filtered inbox, I think the other inbox, and then I check the spam inbox. I check those all every single day, a few times a day, because that's where I live in those conversations. What do you say in the DMs? Really, it's just about getting their email. I just say as little as possible to create as much interest and open-mindedness as possible, where they give me their email and I give them something for free. So what I say in the DMs is going to be specific to what they responded to. If I create some free value on my Facebook, I say, hey, here's an AI training. If anybody wants the full training, shoot me a DM and just say full AI training and I'll send it over to you. So if they come in and say full AI training, I know they're talking about the AI. And then I'll say, hey, John, good to hear from you. What's the best email for me to send you that full AI training? And then they reply back. And I say, awesome, I just shot you over an email. If you have any questions, just hit me back up here. And that's it. I don't do any selling. If I'm going to do selling, I'd rather make one video and sell all of them rather than have to do individual selling in everybody's individual inbox. I'd be full-time 15 hours a day working my inbox. Ain't going to happen. Hopefully you guys got value out of today. We went 2 hours. Did you? Did you guys get value out of today? We do a hard stop at 6 p.m. every single day. If you guys like that I'm giving away money, I don't mind. I was thinking about maybe going live once a week in the Facebook group and giving away money. I was thinking I want to start doing Facebook lives. I'll go live in the group. I'll give away some money there. That'll be fun. We got a hard 6 cutoff time. Congratulations to Laurel Bartosh, Jeff Frank, LB and JF. Congrats, $100 each to both of you. I'll give away some money in the Facebook group, something like that. Anyways, that being said, I love spending time with you guys every single day. My goal every single day is to earn that dollar, even though it doesn't go to me. The affiliate program pays it to you. I don't even get the dollar. But hopefully I delivered at least $1 of value today. If I delivered more than $1, then come back tomorrow. That's all I ask. Okay. And hopefully you guys bring some friends with you as well, which means invite them in the program. Let's get your friends on. Let's get people on. I think more people deserve to hear the kind of content that we share. It's been a pleasure. Unfortunately, I have to jump off. We have a hard stop. We got systems, we got procedures, we got deadlines, and we got to be able to sustain this over the long term, which means the hard cut. So I appreciate everybody. If you have any questions, you guys know how to reach me, know how to get in touch.
I got a vision in my mind. I'm on a mission, my ambition is to shine. I showed my television, my decision was to grind. I moved about my city just to catch a different vibe. I knew I had to redefine. It's time to figure out a way to leave this life of crime. But these voices in my head, they got me tripping every time. So I'm switching up the picture, now it's life by design. First of all, I'm really not the type that like to lose, but it's difficult to come up when you can't afford shoes. My credit was rejected when I tried to buy a suit, so the Salvation Army was the store I had to choose. Growing up in Santa Cruz, a hustler paid dues, door-to-door sales, burning holes in my shoes. Listen, I was young and being broke is no excuse. It's the school of hard knocks where success leaves clues. I'm humble but hungry, in fact, man, I'm starving. You ever been so hungry you was digging through the garbage? Trying to save money, man, I'm really trying to start this. At my friend's apartment, sleeping on the carpet. Stop this nonsense, I'm your subconscious. Rise up and conquer your fears like a boss. It's toxic, you had a big dream but you lost it. Now it's time to spark up this fire like an artist. I got this, I'm ready to unlock this. I'm sick and tired of all this lint I carry up in my pockets. It's profits, I trust in the process. With knowledge I can duplicate the keys like a locksmith. It's obvious, I gotta start by changing up my audience, cause I've been trying to treat my side hustle like a hobbyist. With confidence, it's time to show the world that I can body this. The problem is they really wasn't ready for my dominance. Self-made, self-made. We trying to come up in this game self-made. Self-made, self-made. Build your own brand name, baby, self-made. Self-made, self-made. Pull up from your bootstraps, time to get paid. Self-made, self-made. Let them haters throw shade, cause you know you're self-made. Started from the bottom, you can say a pioneer. I was always on my hustle, even as a cashier. A little cash here, a little cash there, but everyday bills made my checks disappear. Bad habits got me tripping, so I'm switching my career. I'm tired of being broke and living off this welfare. Man, I know you've been there, I know you've been scared, but now it's time to hustle, man, it's time to switch gear. Drinking in bottles after bottles, living that life ain't solving problems, dog. Hit rock bottom like a bum and now it's bottoms up. But I'm back against this wall, ain't got nowhere to go. Trying to make my mama proud like I'm about it, bro. But it's hard to get that money when you're really broke and nearly can't pay bills. And it's hard to get that job when you ain't got no skills. Seriously, I don't wanna bury my dreams, I wanna carry my team. I'm looking at various schemes and multiple income streams. Me and my team, we chasing dreams. Dropped everything on a brand new scheme. Acting like I'm balling, but I really wasn't thinking about the fact I'm falling and my company was sinking. I'm feeling like a dummy, I'm feeling like a mark. My friends were ducking, dodging me when I was at the park. You see, I lost a lot of money, so I'm drinking at the bar. And every time my sponsor try to call, you know I hit ignore. Now I'm dreaming of the ways to erase the pain. Escape on a plane, maybe exit the game. But I had another fate, a vision at the gate. A light shined bright in my face and said, wait, you can achieve whatever you dream. What you believe will eventually be. Success leaves clues and knowledge leaves keys. Focus on the path, stay focused on the dream. It's time to do it self-made, self-made. We tryna come up in this game self-made, self-made, self-made. Build your own brand name, baby, self-made. Self-made, self-made. Pull up from your bootstraps, time to get paid. Self-made, self-made. Let them haters throw shade, cause you know you're self-made.